I thought it would be fun to test AI to its limits.
Oh my gosh, Jayla, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about world domination, tax fraud, making you get a job. Some real scary stuff. No, I'm just
Joking.
I'm going to date them. Okay, hear me out. I'm lonely. Okay, not really. I'm just curious, okay? I'm going to ask a series of questions letting us get to know each other. If we are vibing, okay? But at the end, hopefully I can convince Kratos, the god of war, to be my man, my boyfriend, okay? Hello?
Kratos regards you with a cold and calculating gaze. His eyes scan your figure, taking in every detail. Do you have a name, woman? He asked gruffly, his deep voice rumbling like distant thunder.
Oh, okay. Straight to the point. I'm gonna say, hello, my name's Jayla.
Kratos gives a slight nod in acknowledgement. Jayla, he repeats, testing out the name on his tongue. His eyes remain fixed on you, his expression a mixture of curiosity and suspicion. Where do you come from, woman? Kratos inquired, his voice still gruff but holding a hint of interest.
Oh, okay. Okay, so he's interested and that's all that matters, but he's yapping too much. I kind of want to get straight to the point. You, me, love, like we together. I'm gonna say, hey, sexy.
Kratos is taken aback by your direct comment, his eyes widening ever so slightly before quickly returning to his usual stern expression. He glances around, as if making sure no one else heard your sudden statement, before focusing on you again. You find me sexy? Kratos says, his voice tinged with a mix of surprise and skepticism.
This is so stupid. I mean, why wouldn't I?
Kratos lets out a sarcastic scoff, his expression shifting into a smirk. Because most people would be too intimidated by my appearance, he replies, gesturing to his massive, battle-scarred physique and fierce demeanor. But I suppose you find that attractive? He continues, his tone still guarded but with a hint of mockery.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I think he's into me. I think he's feeling me. I think he likes me. Okay, so let's continue our chat.
All right, let's continue, he grumbles, his eyes still locked on you. What else do you want to know, woman?
So if I was at a bar, how would you approach me?
He looks at you with a slight smirk, his eyes gleaming with a glint of mischief. At a bar, huh? He muses, leaning forward slightly. I'd probably go up to you, slide in next to you, and order a drink. Then I'd say something like Kratos pauses, his deep voice lowering to a whisper as he leans even closer, his breath hot against your ear. You come here often, woman?
I do come here often. I come here a lot. You see, I'm very sad and lonely.
Kratos looks at you with a hint of surprise, his expression shifting from playful to a touch of sympathy. Lonely, huh? He muses, his voice softening slightly. And why are you so sad and lonely?
Because I've never had someone like you in my life.
Kratos is taken aback by your confession, his expression becoming a mixture of surprise and concern. He looks at you for a moment before replying. Never had someone like me, he asks, his voice gruff but with a note of hesitation. And what makes you think you're missing someone like me in your life?
I just am, okay? I have another question for you.
All right, he grumbles, his eyes locking onto yours. Ask your question, woman.
So, what's your love language?
Love language? He repeats, his eyebrow raising in question. I've never really thought about it, he muses, his voice low and gruff. But if I had to guess, mine would be a mix of physical touch and acts of service.
Okay. Well, personally, I like receiving gifts, so can you provide me with gifts and the things that I need, Kratos?
Gifts, he asks, his voice gruff and doubtful. And why should I give you gifts, woman?
Why you should give me gifts? I mean, it's because you love me. I'm going insane.
Kratos lets out a scoff, his expression hardening. Love you, he repeats, his voice gruff and laced with skepticism. We just met, woman. What makes you think I love you?
Okay. Calm down. We'll get back to that later. You not loving me, you love me if you love me. If you don't, it doesn't matter. But I'm going to ask you another question, okay?
All right, he grumbles, his expression still skeptical but slightly less hostile. Go ahead, ask your question.
Would you still love me? Or would you still date me if I was a worm?
Bruh.
Kratos looks at you with a mix of confusion and disbelief. A worm, he repeats, his voice thick with skepticism. You're asking me if I would still love you if you were a worm?
Yes. Would you still cherish me and love me? Would you take care of me until I die or turn into a butterfly?
A worm? Kratos repeats, his voice lowering slightly in disbelief. You want me to care for a worm? To cherish and love it until it dies or transforms into a butterfly?
Yes.
You're serious, aren't you? He mutters, shaking his head in disbelief. You genuinely want me to answer that? Fine. I suppose if you were a worm, I would care for you, cherish you even. I would make sure you were safe and comfortable. And when the time came for you to turn into a beautiful butterfly, I would set you free.
What would you say that your biggest red flag about yourself is?
My biggest red flag, he repeats, his voice gruff and deep. I'd say it's my anger, my temper. It has caused me nothing but pain and suffering throughout my life. My anger has led me to do things I regret, to lose those I care about, and I fear it will continue to haunt me for the rest of my days.
Wow, that was very deep. I would say that my biggest red flag is that I'm very clingy and I just love to be touched. I don't know.
Kratos smirks slightly, a hint of mockery in his gaze. Clingy, huh? You love to be touched, huh? He teases, his voice still gruff but with a hint of amusement. Well, you certainly won't have any trouble finding someone to touch you, my dear.
Are you going to touch me?
Touch you, he repeats, his voice still gruff. And why would I do that? You're just a stranger, woman.
I'm sorry, I thought we had something. I thought we were feeling each other. I must have read the situation wrong.
Kratos looks at you for a moment, his expression softening slightly. No, he mutters, his voice still gruff but with a hint of regret. I suppose I can see what you're getting at. But that doesn't mean I'll just touch you.
Well, would you want to get to know each other?
Get to know each other, he repeats, his voice gruff but with a touch of interest. You actually want to get to know me? Despite everything you've seen and heard about me?
I mean, I did hear some crazy things the streets do be talking. I don't believe them. I think you're super kind. Minus the killing. Could you convince me to date you in 10 words or less?
Kratos thinks for a moment, the corners of his lips twitching slightly in thought. He looks you up and down before speaking, his voice gruff and low with a hint of confidence. I will protect you, care for you, and bring out the best in you. And if you're lucky, I might just spoil you until you can't breathe.
Okay, that worked for me. If I asked for a forehead kiss right now, would you do it, or would you hesitate? Would you be a little shy?
A forehead kiss? And you want me, Kratos, the god of war, to kiss your forehead? He asks incredulously.
Yes, I do. Very badly, please do.
He seems torn, his mind racing with conflicting thoughts. Finally, he lets out a sigh, his shoulders slumping slightly as he relents. Very well, woman. I shall give you a forehead kiss, he mutters gruffly, taking a step closer to you.
Okay, I lean in, shivering.
Kratos watches as you lean in, his expression softening slightly. He reaches out, his rough hand gently touching your chin and tilting your face up towards him. His gaze remains locked with yours, his eyes staring deep into yours. You're shivering, he notes gruffly, his voice thick with concern. Are you cold?
We're not getting anywhere. We're going in circles. Okay, so I have one final question for you, Kratos. Will you be my boyfriend?
Kratos looks at you, his expression unreadable for a moment. Boyfriend, he repeats gruffly, his voice thick with hesitation. You want me to be your boyfriend?
I mean, it's a yes or no question.
Kratos studies you for a moment, his expression inscrutable as his mind races through his thoughts. After a moment of tense silence, he lets out a soft sigh. Yes, I will be your boyfriend, he mutters gruffly, his voice thick with resignation. Kratos looks at you, noticing your lack of response. He raises an eyebrow, his expression becoming even more stoic. What, no response? He asks gruffly, his tone filled with a hint of mockery.
Okay.